What's up, Buttercup? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicole, and today we're going to do an August 2025 reading wrap up, which was really good, all things considered. The first week and a half, well, actually I would say 2 weeks of August, I had 2 biopsies done, and then I had to wait a week to learn if I did or did not have breast cancer, but I don't, so that's fantastic. I think, all in all, reading 10 stories and enjoying nearly all of them is a great success. Also, I was part of Kevin Toll's Indie Author August event, and so I'm going to indicate as we go through the 10 stories who's an indie author, who's a hybrid author, and who's traditionally published. And I say stories because a lot of these are short stories or novellas. There are some books in there, but we'll get into that, of course. The first book, traditionally published, is The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Lavelle. I read it, but I did not rate it. This is a retelling of an H.P. Lovecraft story by a Black author, and I wanted to give it a go because I'm not a fan of H.P. Lovecraft for many reasons. I'm not into eldritch horror, I'm not into cosmic horror, but I was like, maybe we're going to do something cool and different, and maybe it's like not going to be, this is stupid of me, not at all like H.P. Lovecraft, eldritch, cosmic horror. Does that make sense? Okay, look, I don't know if that didn't really make sense because it's a retelling. But yes, I'm not into those things, even in a retelling. That is a me problem, not an anyone else problem. That's why I didn't rate it. And I feel like I'm missing things, of course, because I've only listened to, not even read, listened to The Color of Outer Space by H.P. Lovecraft. I didn't rate it. I was like, okay, this is... Obviously, it's not for me. Okay, therefore, because it's not for me, has nothing to do with Victor, that's why I didn't rate it. And I'm just not gonna even try anything eldritch or cosmic horror. I have tried a couple of other books that are not really retellings, but they're just kind of like in line of the cosmic horror or eldritch horror. Those didn't hit with me either. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Number 2 is Iago Wick and the Vampire Queen by Jennifer Rainey. 5 stars. This is a short story, and it is a little after the setting of the first book, and that book is titled The Temptations of Iago Wick. So you have to read the first book, and then you read this short story. I love this gas lamp, steampunk, cozy fall vibe. Now, Iago Wick is a demon from hell, and he causes trouble with his partner, Dante Lovelace. And Iago decided to pick kind of sort of fight with a vampire queen of the Boston area. Well, that wasn't very smart, was it, Iago? So that's the whole story of him picking a fight, and he has to clean it up. And I think this series, not just the short story, but this series is very cozy autumn vibes. So if you're looking for autumn/spooky books that are indie published, Jennifer is an indie writer, I would suggest the Wick and Lovelace book series. I think I messed up the series title. I'm so sorry. Just look for Jennifer Rainey. I'm sorry. Number 3 is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. 5 perfect stars. She is a hybrid writer, and this book is in a trilogy, and it is a historical romance fantasy where we follow, for the first book at least, Theodora, who was cursed by a fairy when she was younger, and so she has half a soul. Oh, wow. What a great connection to the title. She doesn't feel much okay, as other people, and she's trying to help her cousin, who she's very close with, get married during the London season. She's just trying to be a wallflower. But the Lord Sorcier of England, Elias, he notices some things that are a little off on her. Okay, interesting. And so the whole story unfolds. I did a book review on Half a Soul, spoiler free, so if you're interested, check that out. Now, number 4 is The Lord Sorcier by Olivia Atwater, 5 stars. This is, at least for my copy, in the back of Half a Soul. So you read the story and then you get the Lord Sorcier for free. And this is in the point of view of Albert Lowe and Elias Wilder and how they met. So Albert is a big side character in Half a Soul. It would make sense if, you read the first book and then you go into the short story. See? They're smart. They know what they're doing. You don't have to buy it anyway. I don't know if it's available just to buy, maybe? I don't know. It's in many, many copies. So just look out for that. Number 5 is The Latchkey by Olivia Atwater, 5 stars. Now, this is a free short story. The caveat is that you have to sign up for Olivia's newsletter. This is a very popular thing with indie writers and hybrid writers, where you have a short story novella, and it's what you call a reader magnet or a lead magnet, and you get free stuff if you sign up for the newsletter. And so I think it's worth it. I also really love, obviously, Olivia's writing. It's superb, so I had no problem. Now, The Latchkey follows Elias in his point of view, flashbacks from his messed up childhood in the world of fairy, and then also it's a little later after the first book, so I'm going to keep it vague, because really if I just said stuff, I would spoil Half a Soul. But at least the part of flashbacks to Elias's childhood, that's not really a spoiler. If I mention the other half, that's a spoiler. It's fine. Definitely recommend, of course, reading Half a Soul first and then reading those 2 short stories. And then there are 2 other books in the main trilogy that follows different main characters, but they are all connected. And I forget the series title. It's like Regency Fairy Tales. It's cute. It's, like I said, historical fantasy, but romance. So these are romance historical fantasies. They are whimsical, but talk about serious topics as well, but not in a really depressive, traumatic way. Like, for example, Half a Soul does deal with kidnapping. Yeah, but I don't think you would be traumatized. Like, I think Olivia does a fantastic job writing difficult topics and serious scenes, but it's not, for lack of a better word, I keep using it, but it's not messed up. Like, the situation is messed up, but it's not messed up. It's not gonna, like, traumatize you or anything like that. And it is romance beats, keep that in mind. If you want more information about that without spoilers, you can watch my book review on Half a Soul. Number 6 is Equal Rights by Terry Pratchett, 4 stars. I did a book review on that, and I really enjoyed it. This is the first book in the sub-series of witches for Discworld. Did you catch that? It's kind of a little muddy sometimes. It took me a long time to figure out the Discworld stuff. Okay, but if you want more information on Equal Rights, that spoiler-free book review is out. And number 7 is Mort by Terry Pratchett, 4 stars. This is the first book in the Death sub-series of Discworld. You see the vibe? You see the trend? Yes. This follows Mort, who is hired by Death to possibly, hopefully, take over because Death is having like an existential crisis. And this is a little more serious. Equal Rights is more satirical. We love to see that. And Mort has some satire, of course, that's Terry Pratchett, but it's a little bit more in line with just you know, usual soft fantasy. I'm going to do a book review on Mort shortly. Number 8 is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I read it, but I didn't rate it because that was a mess, but I was amused. That's like trash popcorn reads, like, you know, trash TV. It's hey, it is what it is. How popular is it? Really popular. Some people, and I get it, because same, just need to turn their brains off and just be highly amused because, oh, you know, paying my bills barely and working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, and blah, 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 family drama. Oh, just give me some trashy popcorn reads. Valid. I know some people hate that I think that that's valid, but you need to turn off your brain sometimes. Does The Housemaid make complete sense? No. Was I amused throughout the whole thing? Yes. And I wouldn't say that never say never, right? That this would never happen because there's 8 billion people in the world and crazy things happen. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting. I didn't buy this book. I found it at the little library. Okay? And I wouldn't buy the other books. I would probably read the other books like as a library, or if I found them by happenstance at the little library, but I'm not owning these books. I'm not gonna buy these books. That might sound mean. That's fine. Okay, moving on. Number 9, Riding into the Dark by Dean Wesley Smith. Read, not rated. This is a hybrid author. This particular book is nonfiction, not traditionally published. Sorry, indie published. He has a lot of traditionally published books. You might know him if you are into reading Star Trek books. He wrote a lot of those. And I have had this book for quite some time, and I don't rate nonfiction books most of the time, so this isn't a dig. If you all remember, if you recall, was it like a month or two ago now? Some time ago, I made a video about how I just don't feel the need to star rate books nowadays, more so. Yeah, so it's not a dig at any of the books that I did not rate. If I'm spending more than like 2 minutes trying to come up with a star rating, it's not going to happen. I'm wasting time at the end of the day on my deathbed. I'm not going to be thinking about, oh my god, I didn't rate enough books. Okay, side quest. Going back to the main quest. This is really about writing into dark, pantsing, discovery writing. I am at a certain point now where I just don't need writing craft books. I am where I am. That's not a dig at Dean, because I've been sitting on this book for over a year now. So I bought this book when I was struggling. I'm not struggling anymore. It was very short and sweet. So if you are struggling as a writer, you know you're not an outliner, right? You don't outline books. You really don't plan, but you're struggling. I would suggest Riding into the Dark. And finally, number 10, Pumpkin Spice and All Things Nice by Laura Greenwood. This is read, not rated. I got this for free before Indie Author August began, because Laura was running a free ebook promo. I didn't rate it because I had to read it on my screen. It was very distracting. I am not an audiobook girly. I am not a screen reader girly. It's a struggle. And so it's just really, really damn hard for me personally to connect with screen reading or audiobook reading. That's why, like, the vast majority of the time, I don't rate books that I've listened to or read on a screen. And that's why you don't see it a lot, because that's a me thing. It's not fair, is it? No. But I was like, ooh, free book. Ooh, an indie writer. Yay, I'm gonna get it. So this is a very cozy book, and I think you could definitely get this book. It's a novella, sorry. People are complaining about it on Amazon and Goodreads, and people just scroll down a little bit and then you can see the page count, and then you would know that it's a novella. Okay. I'm not going to rant about that. It's just stupid. Anyway, this is, well, it's actually an urban fantasy novella. Very cozy. About a witch who runs a coffee shop, and she has cute sidekicks, and her friend is a necromancer, and her friend gifts her a mysterious lamp. Yes. So if you can read without any issue on a tablet, I suggest this book, especially if you're looking for fall, cozy, maybe even spooky vibes. It's not violent or anything like that. That's why it's cozy. But you know, it involves witches and magical sidekicks and necromancer and, you know, things like that. So if you don't want to be scared, but you want to be, you know, in the spooky vibe, this is for you. And Jennifer Rainey. And we love to see indie author support. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know how your August reads were in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.